وحياكم الله. زي ما تشوفون عندي لعبتي المفضلة، طبعا راح انزلها كل جمعة، بس حاليا ابغى انزل فيديو وبغيت رايكم في الاصوات، في الفيس كام. اعطوني رايكم عشان اطور من محتوايا، اطور من الادوات اللي عندي، في نفس الوقت اطور من محتوايا. وخلونا نبدا ان شاء الله انكم تستمتعون. يلا. طبعا زي ما تشوفون لعبة ميتال جير لعبة اسطورية ما عليها كلام. طبعا وش رايكم في الحركات؟ الفيديوهين اللي راحت سويت فيها حركات كويسة. عجبتكم الحركات؟ مطور حبة بس نبغى دعم حنا. طبعا سوينا حركات وواحد شال الاشتراك، يلا ما عليه. خليكم تستمتعون مع اللعبة الاسطورية. طبعا هو الفجر الحين هم عندهم، بعد شوية تشرق الشمس. طبعا تعرفون انه ارسلوه عشان يجيب العالم اختطفوه السوفيوت، الاتحاد السوفيتي. احنا بنروح نطلعه من ذا المكان، وهو عالم سوفيتي نطلعه من المكان. انا ما بيشارك في هذه الحرب باردة. شفتوا زي ما قلت الساعة 5:30 في عام 1094.
20 minutes to drop off. Commencing internal depressurization. Equipment check. On main parachute. All right.
طبعا تعرفوا هذا الطاقم.
Drop zone still showing a high pressure mass.
هذا شخصية زيرو، لقب بزيرو. طبعا تعرفون في الجزء الرابع الصار موتوا اللي هو جاك، اعتقد اسمه هو بيج بوس، اسمه الحقيقي جاك.
Put out that cigar. Connecting oxygen hose to interior connector. Put on your mask. Does this panty waste know what he's doing?
زي ما تشوفون انا ابغى منكم تعطوني اراء، تعطوني اقتراحات العاب، تشوفون وشاركوا في الاصوات، وشاركوا في الفيس كام. اعطوني رايكم، مو تجلسون ساكتين كذا، ما استفيد شيء منكم. انا ابى اطور من المحتوى ومن الادوات اللي عندي. اذا ما عجبتكم الفيس كام نجيب الفيس كام احسن، الاصوات اضبطها، المايك اغيره. شاركوني رايكم.
Depressurization complete. Checking oxygen supply. 6 minutes to drop off. Opening rear hatch.
واحد نقص، كان 98 نبغى نوصل 100، صار 97. واحد نقص، واحد شال. شكله عشان الحركات ما عجبت اللي سويتها. اخذ فتين في الصورة دي بداية صورة الوجه اللي حطيتها في البداية. يلا ما عليه، ما عاد بنحطها خلاص، بس ارجع فلو ارجع الاشتراك. اللي بيجلس حيا الله، واللي ما بيجلس بكيفه. بس انا تعرفوني زي ما قلت لكم ماني مشخصن مع لعبة، يعني ماني جالس على لعبة واحدة. معانا لعبتين في شهر 2. حط عليه في واحد لعبة اونلاين والثانية لعبة قصصية. طبعا بلعب اونلاين شكلها رهيبة. خلونا في لعبة الحين، وزي ما قلت لكم اعطوني رايكم في المحتوى حقي، وش تبغى من المحتوى، وش تبغى من الالعاب نختمها. تبغاني انزل لكم كود؟ انا والله ماني متحمس انزل كود في قناتي نهائيا، انا ما عليه دعم ولا شيء. انا اشوف الناس اللي يلعبون كود ما فيها لا دعم ولا فيها شيء، خاصة على اليوتيوب حتى تويتش. خلاص تويتش خلونا نهاية لعبتنا، النقطة الاسطورية مع الشخصية الاسطورية، بداية الاسطورية. يلا
Jack, I've got some important news.
طبعا يعطيه التعليمات.
Head of the CIA has finally given us the green light for the virtuous mission.
Virtual mission?
No, the virtuous mission. The future of our Fox unit depends on it.
طبعا امام الشركة هذه.
Organized into a unit.
Virtuous mission? Sounds like some kind of initiation ritual.
You know, don't get cocky. This isn't a training op.
Right. So what exactly is this wonderful mission?
Well, About 2 years ago, a certain Soviet scientist requested
Soviet.
asylum in the West through one of our moles. His name is Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov.
القائد حقهم
He's head of the
متمردين.
OKB 754 Design Bureau, one
هذا
of the
العالم
Soviet's top secret weapons
اللي لكم اللي
research
احنا نبغى
facilities,
نجيبه.
and the East's foremost expert on weapons development.
Sokolov, isn't he that famous rocket
سيركل اسمه.
The very same. On April the 12th, 1961, the Soviets achieved the first manned spaceflight in history.
The Earth was blue, but there was no God.
Well spoken. The rocket that carried Yuri Gagarin to orbit was the A-1, known as the Vostok rocket. Sokolov is said to be the man most responsible for the multi-engine cluster used in that rocket. After Gagarin's flight, Sokolov left rocket development to become the head of the newly established Design Bureau.
From a lowly technician to head of
هذا
design
يوم
bureau,
الاتحاد
that's quite a
السوفيت
success
والامريكان
story, so what he wanted to effect.
من يطلع
He
القمر
seems he'd
بسرعة
become afraid of his own
قاعد
creations.
يسوي صواريخ.
Afraid.
Call it a crisis of conscience.
And for that, he left his country and his family behind and went over the fence?
سلاح
Not
سري.
exactly. One of his conditions was that his family was also to be taken safely to the west. We used a mole to get the family out first and succeeded in sneaking Sokolov over the Berlin Wall shortly afterwards. I was the one who conducted the operation.
The security on the eastern side was still full of holes back then. Then what?
We got Sokolov over in one piece, but the whole ordeal had left him exhausted, and we checked him into a hospital in West Berlin. It took him 2 weeks and more than 600 miles to get from the research facility in the Soviet Union to Berlin. He was in no condition to say anything coherent. And it was only a week later that we had something much bigger on our hands.
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
October the 16th, 1962, President Kennedy received word that the Soviets were in the process of deploying intermediate-range ballistic missiles in
قصة
Cuba.
رن حقيقية من جد حاصلة
The President demanded that the Soviets
بين الاتحاد السوفيتي والامريكان اول.
At the same time,
كانت
he
بينهم
announced a
حرب
naval
وكانت
blockade
إيه،
to prevent further
كانوا فيها
Russian
اكثر شيء
ships reaching
اكثر في هذه الحرب كانوا فيها
The
عملاء.
Soviets didn't back down,
لهم عملاء
instead
سريين.
placing their armed forces on secondary
انتشروا
alert.
كثير في ذاك
Soviet
الوقت.
transport ships
في الاتحاد
carrying
السوفيتي
missiles continued on course towards Cuba.
كانت الحرب بين ايوه
US and Soviet
في الاتحاد
forces
السوفيتي.
went on alert for an all-out nuclear war.
انتشروا شيء اسمه عملاء وجواسيس. هي الحقبة حقت العملاء والجواسيس هذه هي اللي في الحرب هذه حقت السوفيت والامريكان.
The Soviet Union agreed to remove its missiles from Cuba, and so the world avoided a nuclear holocaust. But in order to get the Soviets to pull their missiles out, we had to make a deal.
You mean the one where the US agreed to remove its IRBMs from Turkey?
No, the Jupiter IRBMs deployed in Turkey were obsolete, and we were going to get rid of them anyway. They had no
طبعا
strategic value
الفصيل اللي
whatsoever to
انفصل عن
the US
الاتحاد
or the
السوفيتي.
Russians. The Turkey
الاتحاد
deal was a
السوفيتي
ruse, a cover story
اللي صنعوا
to
سلاح
distract
خاص.
other intelligence agencies around the world.
So what did the Russians really want?
Sokolov. They wanted us to
العالم
return
هذا سيركل.
Sokolov.
You mean the
Sokolov.
Soviets pulled out of Cuba just to get their hands on Sokolov?
That's right.
اخترع
What the hell was
سلاح.
he working on?
طبعا هذا العالم هرب من
Time, we had
عندهم
no idea.
والحين اسمه
We were running out of time.
اللي هو بيت بوس
It's either give
او
up
سنيك
Sokolov
راح
or
يجيب
risk full-scale
العالم
nuclear
ذا
war.
يطلعوا
Yeah,
من
we had no
الاتحاد
choice.
السوفيتي او من
President
الجزيرة
Kennedy
اصلا.
gave in to Khrushchev's demand. The next day, I got Sokolov out of the hospital, handed him over to agents on the eastern side. Sokolov kept on screaming, "Save me," until he disappeared from my side.
لان هذا العالم هو
Then a
المفتاح
month ago, we
للسلاح.
received some new information from one of our moles.
About Sokolov?
Yes. He was taken back to the research facility and forced to continue working on the weapon in question under KGB supervision. What's more, it's on the verge of completion.
So what kind of weapon is it? Something to do with space rockets?
No, missiles.
Same technology.
I guess you're right. We don't know
تجارب
the
القنبلة
details,
النووية.
but it appears to be a new kind of nuclear device. For half a year now, the Soviets have been conducting frequent
هذه
nuclear
يعتقد اول
tests of
قنبلة
semi-pilot
جربوها.
Something to do with the
شوف كيف
weapon, I
خلت
assume.
الحفرة.
We're talking about a secret weapon so big that Khrushchev was ready to pull out of Cuba to get it back.
Is Sokolov still in the facility?
No, according to our intelligence, he's in Selinoyarsk, a place in the
هذا
mountains
المكان.
about 3 miles to the west that's known as the Virgin Cliffs.
The Virgin
قمار طبعا من
Cliffs.
الأقمار الصناعية.
Nice name for a virtuous mission.
They moved him there just recently.
Why?
Apparently, they're conducting a field test of the weapon, but it's our best chance to get him back. This mission would never have been possible if he was still in the research facility. This is our last chance. Sokolov must have known that too when he contacted us.
والله كانت على أول ما لعبتها كان شيء جميل. علقت فيها أصلا. ما كنا نلعب اونلاين. كنت اختم اللعبة يمكن 100 يمكن 50 مرة 60 مرة إلى 30 مرة 40 مرة. ما كان فيها في لاين. ما كنا نلعب لاين. أنا اللاين ما عرفت إلا يمكن عام 20 تجي. لا مو بعام 20 نجيب العيد. متى دخلت اللاين اصلا عرفت ان في اللاين. والله ما ادري بس اعتقد ان 2018 2000 عرفت ان في اللاين. تبغانا الصراحه في العاب اللاين في العاب مدري شنو. لان احنا كنا اصلا وين عايشين في ديره ما فيها نت نهائيا. ما فيها شبكه. يعني يمكن جلست من ما ادري والله ما اذكر بس اني جلست في هذه. كان عمي اصلا اللي يهرب لنا انا يجيب البلاي ستيشن ويجيب هذه الالعاب. هو كان موظف في الرياض. كان يجيب لنا الالعاب هذه. عمي.
She's equipped with 2 6-barrel 20mm
ساعديني يوم توظفت.
2 40mm machine guns.
جيت الرياض هنا وتعيننا الحمد لله مستريحين في وظيفتنا. دخلت عالم اللاين. صرنا نلعب العاب ثانية. أنا ما نعرف إلا ميتر جير وفي برضو لعبة ثانية. لعبة ثنائية كذا الشاشة تيجي اللاعب يجي كذا وتمشي قدام كذا. ما علينا. القصص هذه خليها إذا إن شاء الله وصلنا عدد نهب لكم قصص على منفذنا. أفهم. شوف الإخراج كيف يا حبيبي. كوجيما داهية. عرف كيف يخرج اللعبة صح. سنيك.
Do you copy? You're already in enemy territory, and somebody might be listening in. From here on out, we'll be using code names to refer to each other. Your code name for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on. You're not to mention your real name.
Snake?
Oh, you don't like snakes?
What do you mean?
You've eaten one before, haven't you?
In survival training.
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know if I'd ever order one in a restaurant, but...
Be careful, you might not have a choice.
What about you, Major? What should I call you?
Let's see. I'll be Tom. Call me Major Tom. This will be a sneaking mission. You must not be seen by the enemy. You must leave no trace of your presence. Is that clear? This kind of infiltration is the Fox unit's speciality. In other words, weapons and equipment are procured on site. That goes for food as well. You're completely naked, just as your name implies.
Great. Now I see why you asked me if I like snakes. I suppose calling me Snake was your idea of a joke, too.
No, there's a good reason for that. I'll tell you later when the time is right.
Gotcha. Getting back to the subject, how exactly am I supposed to feed myself?
You've been issued a knife and a tranquilizer gun. Use them to hunt for food. You'll also find some medical supplies in your backpack.
باك.
Yeah, about
طبعا هاي السواليف هذه ما لهم داعي.
on the way down.
بعطيها سكيب لانه يقول لي كيف اسوي الشنطه كيف
I
اخرجها.
see. Well,
شفتوا بعطيه
you
سكيب
better go back and get it then.
زي ما تشوفون عشان يضغط مثلث وعشان تطلع فوق. ما يحتاج السوالف دي، ما لهم داعي. تمام، اخذنا الشنطة.
I see you've retrieved your backpack, Snake.
جبت الباك باك، اسحب عليه يعلمني كيف اطلق ويعلمني مدري شنو سواليف فاضية. هذا البيك بوس تعلمني على السلاح، سواليف حفظة.
Snake, try to remember some of the basics of CQC.
طبعا كاتم سلاح منوم.
Commencing virtuous mission now.
طبعا نظام التختيم عندي بيكون من 30 دقيقة إلى 40 دقيقة. ودي ننقص في حاجات مهمة. طبعا النظام مربع اللي يطلق. التماسيح طبعا لو طولت في المويه الرمام المتحركة دي بتاكلها هوا. طبعا نظام تجسس، بنوصل من نقطة لنقطة بالتجسس بدون أي أحد يكشفنا. أوه
Major, I've spotted 2 enemy soldiers.
They're probably KGB troops sent to guard Sokolov.
هذا السفيت حرس
AK-47s.
يقول معاهم سلاح AK.
Snake, your presence in Soviet territory is already a violation of international law. We can't let the Kremlin find out that the CIA and the American government are involved. Contact with the enemy is strictly prohibited. Don't engage them in battle either. This is a stealth mission. Got that?
The Major is right. The point
Major.
of this mission is to sneak through the jungle without being seen. The success of the mission depends on how well you use your camouflage. Change your camouflage by selecting camouflage from the survival viewer.
تعليمات. اوكي اسحب عليه تعليمات عشان البس البذل اللي عشان ما تشوفوني. هاي حاجة تعليمات يعني زي ما تشوفون. هذه البذلات. قناعة رجع هذا يعطيني 30%. اوكي هو اعلى شيء يعطيني تخفي. اوكي تمام خليه. نعم بس يبغى بالتخفي. نعم بس هذا كان فيه، اذكر كان في واحد هنا. مشكلة انها ختمتها متى اول ما نزلت على البلاي ستيشن 5، ختمت كل الاجزاء. تمام. سريع سريع مرة، صارت ما تعلق اصلا، ما فيها تأخير، ما فيها لودنج. اوكي. الدبابير. ابى احاول اني اطيحها على راسه.
I hear something.
وش ذا؟ اول مرة لاحظ. وش هذا؟
There's nothing here.
اول مرة اسويها تصدقون؟ جديدة هاي، صدق انها جديدة. ابدا بس ارجع. ترى الجسر يلف يمين يسار. ها اعتقد ان في واحد هنا. ايوه تمام. الطريق حافظه، بس الناس اللي في الطريق من يحافظ اماكنهم. ايوه وصلنا مكان العالم.
Major, I've reached the abandoned factory where Sokolov is supposedly being held. This place is a dump. I can't see Sokolov from here.
في عسكر كثير.
Security is pretty tight. There are sentries posted around the perimeter. I wonder how many are inside.
تمام.
Your objective, Sokolov, is inside the factory. They should be holding him in a room in the northeast section.
Northeast section. Got it.
اوه
Be careful. Your mission is to bring Sokolov back alive. He must not be exposed to any kind of danger. Do not approach Sokolov
اوه
while in
العمر
the alert
55.
phase.
Right.
Oh, and one more thing, Snake.
You mean there's more?
No, it's just that when you get to Sokolov, I want you to tell him something from me.
And that is?
Sorry for being so late.
Is that all?
Yes.
Understood. Beginning
Okay.
my approach to the target.
علم. انا حافظ طريقي هنا. لا اوكي جبنا العيد. جبنا العيد. صكيت المخ، مو بصكيت، طلقت على الخزانات وسمع الحديد كذا طلع كأنه حد رمى حجر على الحديد. انتبهوا. طيب بحاول ارجع فيلهم. هذا الطريق حافظه منه. ما في احد يدري. كتب وصلنا عند العالم. طبعا النظام اني بخليكم مع القصة انا عشان يطلع الفيديو كويس، وبتكلم من وراه.
You must be Sokolov.
Are you one of Volgin's men? You'll never get it from me.
No. I'm a CIA agent. I've come to escort you back to the other side of the Iron Curtain.
You're CIA?
Yeah. I was sent by Major Zero, the man who got you out 2 years ago.
Zero?
I have a message from him.
What is it?
He said to tell you sorry for being so late.
Did he now?
What does it mean?
It means... he's
صح،
a
اعطوني
man of
رايكم
his
ايش إن
word.
اذا جاء سكريبت، اذا جاء زي كذا شابتر
But we've got no
اوخر
time for this.
صورتي،
You'll have to get me out
اغطي
of here
الفيس
before
كام
they arrive.
او اطفيها لين يوخر هذا وارجع. افضل كذا ولا اخليه كذا عشان تشوفون
Colonel Volgin
ردة
of
فعلي
Volgin.
وانا
You in the West know him as Thunderbolt.
هو يتكلم؟
Thunderbolt? Never heard of him.
He's a member of the Army's extremist faction, a man who seeks to seize control of the motherland. Ever since the Cuban Missile Crisis 2 years ago, Khrushchev has been pursuing a policy of peaceful coexistence with the West. Despite resistance and criticism from hawks in the army and the provincial authorities, Khrushchev has managed to suppress the opposition so far. But the failure of his agricultural policies has put him in a precarious position. And on top of that, the tragedy last November.
President Kennedy's assassination.
Precisely. In a sense, Khrushchev has lost his biggest partner, and his power base is rapidly crumbling away. A certain group is plotting to use this opportunity to seize power by rallying
يتكلم عن
the
الشخصية
anti-government
اللي
forces,
تشوفونها في الصورة،
overthrowing Khrushchev and installing
من
Brezhnev and Kosygin in his place.
انشقوا هذولا
The mastermind
عن الاتحاد
behind this
السوفيتي،
plot,
صاروا يشتغلون لحالهم.
Volgin of the GRU. He has control over another secret weapons research facility much like this one, OKB-812, known as the Granin Design Bureau, and is using it to further his plans. But that is not enough to satisfy him.
طبعا
Now
هذا
he's
بيسوي
plotting to seize
فتنة.
the secret weapon I have been developing here and use it as leverage in his bid for power. The intelligence says that they are going to make their move during the test.
Then, the soldiers outside.
Exactly. They wouldn't need that many men just to keep me inside. Their orders were to prevent Colonel Volgin from capturing me. Even if it meant killing me in the process, or so it would seem. Volgin will come. I'm sure of it. You must get me out of here before then.
Leave it to me.
By the way, your Russian is superb. Where did you learn to speak it?
From my mentor.
Is that so? America is truly a frightening country.
Having second thoughts.
No. I have no love for this place. Let's go.
اوكي يلا خلونا نخرج من ذا المكان. ذاك.
Major, this is Snake. Sokolov
Snake.
is safe with me. He's doing fine. No injuries.
Good
فيلم
work,
معي.
Snake. Now hurry up and get Sokolov to the recovery point. We'll rendezvous with you there.
Roger.
What about the sentries?
No one spotted me.
اوكي.
I see.
What about the boss?
We lost contact with the boss some time ago.
What happened?
It's probably just a weak signal. Just hurry and get Sokolov out of there.
اوكي الحين تبدا المتعة هنا يا حبيبي. والله يا العامك مسكين. راح يا حبيبي راح خلاص. يدرون عنه.
Freeze!
So this is the legendary boss. Huh? We meet at last.
You're from the Ocelot unit of Spetsnaz. Huh. What's a Gru soldier doing here?
Soldier?
He's the Ocelot commander.
Ha! That's Major Ocelot to you.
Ocelot.
And don't you forget it.
Okay. Ocelot.
Sokolov is ours. Now get out of here.
And Ocelot never lets his prey escape.
What?
الرصاص اللي يستخدمها مهي مسننة، راسها حاد، راسها اسمه يجيك راسها دايري عشان زي ما تشوفون تلف. والله اعطاه واحد يتشد.
I can't say it feels good to kill a comrade, even if it is for the Gru.
Sokolov, take cover.
اوكي شكلهم بتواجهون.
You're not the boss, are you?
Gru operatives?
قوة خاصة.
What is that stance? Huh. That gun. If you're not the boss, then die.
Major! Leave it! another one.
زي ما شفت من السلاح علق عليه طلعت الرصاصة. هو أول شيء ما طلع آخر رصاصة من السلاح، على طول خزن السلاح. ابلع يا كبير. مخدر. زي ما شفت، شوف الرصاصة كيف دايرية، مي مسننة. عطاه واحدة خلاها يغمى.
You ejected the first bullet by hand, didn't you? I see what you were trying to do, but testing a technique you've only heard about in the middle of battle wasn't very smart.
اشرح له السلاح اللي يستخدمه.
Besides, I don't think you're cut out for an automatic in the first place. You tend to twist your elbow to absorb the recoil. That's more of a revolver technique.
You filthy American dog!
هبل انت. ابلع مرة ثانية.
But that was some fancy shooting. You're pretty good.
Pretty good.
خلاص غمي عليه الحين. لازم تتكلم. اوكي. يعلموا علشان الفريق.
I read you. Snake, you all right?
I've run into a few snags. These guys were after Sokolov too. Apparently they were taking orders from a GRU colonel named Volgan. Part of an internal Soviet power struggle, according to Sokolov. Something between the KGB and GRU. Between Khrushchev's supporters and Volgan's.
Sokolov was being guarded by the KGB and hunted by GRU? Snake, it sounds like this could be even hotter than Cuba.
I don't like it. Something about the whole thing stinks.
I agree. You'd better hurry.
Sokolov ran off by himself, but I'll catch up to him.
We're counting on you.
انتبه لنفسك. طيب. ايه صح. على L3 يصوب. كذا يخليه يصوب على طول. اوكي تمام. طبعا هنا الحقيقة الصادمة للجميع أو لي أنا.
You okay? Those men were from the Ocelot unit.
Spetsnaz?
Yes. The best crew has to offer. They're coming for me. I'm finished.
Calm down. I'll get you out of here, I promise. And we've got some of the best backup we could ask for.
Look.
أو هذا السلاح.
That's what they were making you build.
Yes. The Shagohod. The dreaded behemoth. A tank capable of launching nuclear IRBM.
It can launch nuclear missiles from that kind of terrain?
Oh, yes. And without support from friendly units.
A nuclear-equipped tank capable of operating solo.
طبعا هذا السلاح اللي صنعه. بس مو كامل.
Is that thing finished?
No. This is only the end of phase 1. It
إذا
won't
زي ما
be
قلت لكم.
truly finished until we complete phase 2.
Phase 2.
The weapon's true form. If it is completed and the Colonel gets his hands on it, it will mean the end of the Cold War.
The end of the Cold War?
Yes. And then the age of fear will truly begin.
World War.
I had no choice but to cooperate. I didn't want to die. I wanted to see my wife and child again in America. Please, take me to America, quickly. They cannot complete it without my help.
Got it. Let's go.
اوكي. يقول لي دمر السلاح يرجع لامريكا ما ادري شنو سوى. طبعا هنا الخيانة العظمى اللي صدمتنا. طالع تحت طيب. هذه بيك بوس مدربته رئيسته. the boss رئيسته. العالم المسكين.
Good work, Jack.
What are you doing here?
Sokolov comes with me.
تاخذ سوكولوف اللي هو العالم. دبابير. الدبابير كلهم ذولا بنقابلهم عشان نوصل للزعيم الاخير.
My friends, let us fight together again.
استقاها.
I have waited long for this day.
We will fight with you once more. Welcome back, boss.
Now that all 5 of us are together, it's time we go to the depths of hell itself.
انقلب هذا كذا بسرعة جو.
It's raining blood.
هذا المخفي.
Is he crying?
هذا الشق او
Kuwabara. Ah, what a joyful scene.
Colonel Vogan.
Welcome to my country. And to my unit.
Boss, what is this?
I'm defecting to the Soviet Union. Sokolov is a little gift from my new hosts.
Recoilless nuclear warheads.
جابت معاهم هدية قنبلة نووية صغيرة.
These will make a fine gift for me.
This can't be happening.
Who is he? Another one of your disciples? Are we taking him with us?
No, this one is still just a child. Too pure for us cobras. He has not yet found an emotion to carry into battle.
What are you talking about?
Think you can pull the trigger?
طبعا هي ما خانتهم. في منظمة اسمهم الفلاسفة، والله أنا سالفتهم طويلة. قالوا خليكي معاهم وكذا. تخيل أحد يكسر يدك كذا من النص.
He's seen my face. We can't let him live.
لازم يموت.
If Khrushchev finds out about this, we're finished.
طبعا هذا
He must die.
ما ادري شو معدات كهربائية خلطها مع جسمه وصار كهربائي.
I'll take care of him. Jack, you can't come with us.
أبلع. رمتك من فوق الجسر. الله عليك.
The new blood has been rejected. Are we done here?
Now, onto Sokolov's research facility.
Shagohod is ours.
Drift away. My place is with them now.
طيب. مسكين والله مو بحالكم. صح.
Snake, can you hear me?
Yeah. Just barely.
Snake, listen to me. You need emergency medical treatment. Can you move? You've got to get those wounds treated. Hang in there. All right, let's get you fixed up. Paramedic?
Okay, Snake. Just relax and it'll all be over before you know it. Stay with me. I've seen people in worse shape before. Think you can handle it?
Major. The boss. She's defected.
We'll talk about that later. First, we've got to get you patched up.
Okay, here we go. First, open the survival viewer with the start button. If you select cure, you can start the treatment. Healing is divided into treatment using medicine with the item window button and surgical treatment using the weapon window button. Your injuries include a fractured left elbow and rib bone, and lacerations on your upper arms, right elbow, and abdomen. They need to be fixed using surgical treatment. Move the healing cursor with the left stick to the affected part of your body. Once you've selected the affected area, hold the weapon window button and use the left stick to select the medical item and then press the enter button. With this method you can use items to help your recovery process.
انا كده بعطيه سكيب لانها كلها معروفة معالجة بس ما لها علاقة بالقصة. هاي طبعا اول شيء لا مو بينه. اوكي هنا وين ايوه جيب ذا تمام كذا يعني. لا ما لها دخل عبوب. اوكي الو طيب تمام. طيب تمام كده ما يتكسر المسكين. كسرته ولما تبون فوق الجزء. والله صعبة. أنا مالي. هذه الرابطة اللي أخذها من راسه.
Good job, Snake.
We're coming to get you now. Just stay where you are. We'll drop a recovery balloon. Can you set it up?
تمام. تفرج على النهر. هذا هم. اوه اسمه السلاح. علمته هو علمته على القتال، علمته على كل شيء. طيب ايش بيصير الحين؟ ايش رجعنا للاحداث.
Excellent. A great success. Thanks to the boss and her cobras,
I have both Sokolov and the Shagohod.
What are we going to do with the girl?
Who is she?
Apparently she's Sokolov's woman.
خاينة.
She's a nice catch. I'll take her. Not so fast, my dear.
امره بس.
A kiss of death.
Are you KGB?
We may be able to use her. She has spunk.
Shall we take her back to the base?
Perhaps we should. We have no further use for Sokolov's research facility. I think it's time I gave this marvelous new toy a try.
Colonel, even if they are our enemies, they're still our countrymen.
But it won't be me that pulled the trigger. It'll be our friend, the American defector.
You're going to nuke your fellow Russians?
لا بس
Remember the Alamo.
يبي يسبب
Colonel.
زي الارتداد هذا كله. طيب ما دام انا جا سيف نسيف هنا، بنسيف هنا. يعطيكم العافية على المشاهدة. إذا استمتعتوا أعطوني لايك، وزي ما قلت لكم أعطوني تعليقات عشان أطور من محتوايا، كيف الفيس كام، كيف الأصوات، كيف صوت اللعبة، كيف صوت المايك. ولا تنسون، ومع السلامة.